The ground beneath the United Kingdom's immigration system is shifting. From radical proposals to scrap permanent residency altogether, to red carpet treatment for the world's brightest minds, everything you thought you knew about moving to Britain could be about to change. In this video, we're breaking down the dramatic proposals and new laws that will affect millions. Welcome to Traveller. Let's start with a proposal that has sent shockwaves through migrant communities across the UK. Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform UK, has announced a plan that would fundamentally rewrite the rules of settlement. The party intends to completely end the right of migrants to apply for permanent residency, officially known as Indefinite Leave to Remain, or ILR. Currently, after living and working legally in the UK for a qualifying period, which is typically 5 years for most work and family routes, a person can apply for ILR. This status grants them the freedom to live, work, and study in the UK indefinitely, without needing to renew visas, and it's the crucial stepping stone to applying for British citizenship. It provides stability, security, and access to public funds if needed. Reform UK's plan would abolish this pathway. Instead of settling, migrants would be forced to renew their visas every 5 years, perpetually remaining on a temporary footing. But the proposal goes even further and is perhaps most radical in its retroactivity. The plan would force those who already have settled status, people who have built their lives here for years, sometimes decades, to reapply for a new, much stricter visa. The criteria for this new visa would be significantly tougher. It would include a higher salary threshold, a better standard of English, and an increase in the required residency period from 5 years to 7. There would also be tighter restrictions on bringing spouses and children to the UK. Crucially, this new visa would come with a no recourse to public funds condition, meaning holders will be barred from accessing most benefits, regardless of the taxes they pay. The justification for this unprecedented reversal of border rules is, according to the party, financial. Reform UK claims that mass deportation resulting from these changes would save £234 billion over the lifetime of an average migrant, arguing that the current wave of migration will take a critical toll on the welfare system. However, this figure has been disputed, with the think tank that originally calculated a similar number withdrawing the report and stating the estimate should no longer be used. Critics have pointed out that according to government figures from July 2025, people with indefinite leave to remain accounted for just 2.8% of all universal credit claimants. Zia Yusuf, Reform's policy chief, has stated these changes would lead to hundreds of thousands of people losing their settled status on a staggered basis. The move has been described by opponents as unconscionably cruel and a Trump-style plan that would tear families apart and create profound uncertainty for those who have legally made the UK their home. While one political party is proposing a radical tightening of the rules, a very different conversation is happening inside the halls of power about a specific, elite group of individuals. The British Prime Minister's Global Talent Task Force is actively exploring proposals to abolish visa fees for the world's top talent. The goal is to lure the best scientists, academics, and digital experts to the UK to stimulate economic growth. This initiative is being driven by key figures like Varun Chandra, a business advisor, and Lord Patrick Vallance, the science minister. One official described the target demographic as the sort of people who have attended the world's top 5 universities or have won prestigious prizes. The idea of cutting their visa costs to zero is being seriously considered within Number 10 and the Treasury. This potential policy shift is made even more striking when contrasted with the United States, which has moved in the opposite direction by increasing the application fee for its H-1B visa, relied upon by tech groups, to $100,000. An official involved in the UK discussions noted that the American decision has put wind in the sails of those advocating for reform in Britain. To understand the significance of this, let's look at the current costs. The UK's Global Talent Visa, introduced in 2020, is designed for leaders or potential leaders in fields like science, arts, and digital technology. An applicant currently pays an application fee of £766. On top of that, there is a mandatory annual immigration health surcharge of £1,035 for each person applying, including partners and children. Abolishing these fees would send a powerful message. The Global Talent Visa is already highly flexible. It isn't tied to a specific employer and offers a faster route to settlement, with some applicants able to apply for indefinite leave to remain after just 3 years. Despite this, Some government officials have described the current system as a bureaucratic nightmare and are looking at ways to help people navigate the process more easily. This move isn't without internal debate. The Home Office, tasked with cutting net migration, is reportedly more cautious. However, the prevailing view across government seems to be that this isn't about diluting migration targets, but about being highly selective and attracting the brightest and best to Britain. This aligns with Labour's earlier commitment to increase arrivals on high-talent routes to supercharge growth in strategic industries. In the year ending June 2023, the number of global talent visas granted saw a 76% rise, reaching a total of 3,901. Amidst these debates about tightening and targeted loosening of immigration rules, a significant and positive change has already been implemented. On the 22nd of July, 2025, a wave of changes to immigration rules rolled out, and among them was a landmark update for Irish citizens. The British Nationality, Irish Citizens, Act 2024 has officially come into force. This new law creates a simplified, faster, and more affordable pathway to British citizenship for Irish citizens residing in the United Kingdom, which includes Northern Ireland, the Channel Islands, and the Isle of Man. This change is deeply rooted in the long-standing Common Travel Area and the Good Friday Agreement. Under the new Act, an Irish citizen who has lived in the UK for the previous 5 years, with absences not exceeding 450 days over that period, can apply for registration as a British citizen. What makes this route truly simplified is the removal of some of the usual hurdles. Applicants under this new pathway are not required to sit the Life in the UK test or prove their knowledge of the English language. Furthermore, the registration fee is 50% cheaper than for other nationalities, set at £723 for adults. This act formalizes and strengthens the unique historical and social ties between the UK and Ireland, allowing eligible Irish nationals who have made their home in the UK to fully participate in British society, including voting in all elections, while also maintaining their Irish citizenship. As we've seen, the UK's immigration landscape is being pulled in multiple directions at once. We have the restrictive, security-focused vision of Reform UK, which seeks to end permanent settlement and re-evaluate the status of those already here. We have the economically-driven, elitist approach of the government, which wants to roll out the red carpet for top global talent by removing financial barriers. And we have the historically sensitive, simplified path for Irish citizens, strengthening a unique bilateral relationship. These developments are happening alongside other complex human stories within the system, such as the campaign to allow Palestinian scholars to bring their children to the UK, and public demonstrations like the Stop the Boats protest in Bournemouth, which highlight the deep divisions in public opinion on immigration. The United Kingdom is at a crossroads, simultaneously looking to pull up the drawbridge for some while laying out a welcome mat for others. These competing visions will define not just the country's immigration policy, but its economic future and its very identity on the world stage. What are your thoughts on these proposals? Let us know in the comments below. And for more deep dives into the policies shaping our world, make sure to subscribe to Traveller. Thanks for watching.